It might not look pretty, but it tastes great. It's time for Lizz's Ugly Bakery as we step into the virtual cookie swap, which is online at hisradio.com. I must say, even though I don't bake, I can't cook. There's some that intrigue me on the virtual cookie swap.
Like
There's
which
one
one?
that's called Ambrosia Cookies. I'm thinking a group back in the 70s. Ambrosia
couple, too.
Cookies.
Ambrosia?
I got a couple, too.
Oh, you do? Like what?
Yeah. Well, you talk about the no-bake. I don't think I can mess this up either, but Mindy has a peanut butter delight with Ritz crackers and peanut butter.
Ooh,
Yum.
I have to look
And then
that
there's
one up.
a hot chocolate cookie. Ashley submitted that one. You kind of roll it up into a ball. Those sound really good to me.
And Wayna has no bake oatmeal cookies, which I don't bake, so that would be a good one because it's
Absolutely.
mom's oatmeal cookie.
And you can add it to like your cookie charcuterie board, which is super cool.
Yeah. So Liz in virtual cookie swap, which is online at hisradio.com, will pick one. They win an apron, and she cooks it or bakes it. I'm
Bakes it.
sorry.
That's
Sorry. She bakes it. So what is it today?
It is from Catherine in Boiling Springs, and what she did was a pecan shortbread. She said, my dad absolutely loves shortbread cookies, and he also likes pecans, and so she kind of made a recipe for her daddy. And so that's what I've made, and I even made them in Christmas tree shapes.
Oh, no.
What did you do?
I broke my Christmas tree.
Here.
I picked it up and dropped
Would
it.
you like another so you can eat the full
I'm sorry.
Christmas tree? I did make extras.
She did.
So they were super easy to make. I did like that. I amended, I think it was, I don't know what was happening in my house, but I needed just a little teeny tiny touch of water. Wow, you are making a mess, Rob.
I broke it.
Rob is making a mess over here. Clean
I
up on
broke
aisle
it.
3. You did break it.
So we might as well try it. So Ninja and Jake have the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you guys think? I mean, remember, it was
Catherine.
yeah, but it was Liz
Shout
who,
out, Catherine.
who baked
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So let's see what she
Go
did.
ahead.
So I was surprised because I was expecting a super sweet cookie because it looks like a sugar cookie.
Yeah.
But I tasted it and I was like, oh, it's like a healthy cookie.
It was not a healthy cookie.
Yeah, but it was like a nice change.
It was not over the top sweet.
What do you think, Jake?
I see the appeal. I'm more of what'd you say this was, a pecan?
Yes,
Said?
pecan
Oh, well then yeah,
shortbread.
it's fire then. I love me some pecans. Yeah, I
You-
think it's great.
Pecans, you mean?
Yeah, pecans, that's what I said.
Okay, you said pecans, but okay.
Yeah, pecans.
I clearly
The
can
only
taste
way
the
to say it,
pecans.
Liz.
You what?
I clearly can taste the pecans.
Can you see clearly taste the pecans? Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for saying pecans.
I thought I said pecans.
You said pecans.
Yeah, I'm
Not a
I'm
pecan
hearing
either. It's a pea. Now see, I'm all confused.
Pecan or
Wow.
a pecan?
Pecan. But they're delicious. I think they're good. And you're right. They're not too sweet. Only had a half a cup of sugar, but they're not healthy because they have 2 sticks of butter. So
Oh.
you will see these later
Yeah.
on
Hey,
your
check
body.
out the virtual cookie swap. It's online at hisradio.com. Now, Catherine gets one of the Liz's Ugly Bakery aprons.
Yeah.
You could, too. You could possibly win one of these. Just go online to hisradio.com. You'll see the virtual cookie swap right there. It's Liz's Ugly Bakery.
Yum.
Listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I don't know if you heard about these 13 people. Their flight is canceled in Orlando. Just canceled. So these 13 people thought, hey, don't know each other. Let's get in a van and go to our final destination in Knoxville, Tennessee, 10 hours away.
Well, the good thing is they were all headed in the same direction. Didn't like have a connecting flight, I guess, in Knoxville or anything. And so, yeah, it's very much like the scene out of Home Alone, where the mom is trying to get home to Kevin and the polka band is in the airport.
Only they weren't in the back of a U-Haul truck.
No, it was they rented a van, but
Got
it's
this-
still.
one of these big 13-passenger vans.
But nobody knew each other. I personally don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I would fear for my safety or not.
I don't know. You're
Sounds like
sitting in an
fun, though.
airplane with these people.
I guess, but there's also an air marshal there. There's not a van marshal, although he could have been one of the people. What?
You never know.
You
I
never
mean,
know.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But they got together. They didn't know each other. Now they're like besties. after that 10-hour trip.
I know you get to know somebody, first of all, when you're traveling. You get to know their routines. And so, 10 hours together, they are making plans now to meet up after Christmas.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I think they're going bowling or something like that. So it's cool that they're doing something.
I've had travel
fun.
plans kind of, get thwarted. Like I had a weird connection. I was going to Arizona out to Matmar. And this is from here to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
They routed us through Detroit.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's
and
a
then
weird
my airplane had an engine malfunction, and so I had to stay overnight in Detroit at a hotel.
Did they put you up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah. Not a lot. They go, here you go to your hotel. We'll give you a ride there, and you get $5 stipend to eat.
And that
What am I going to
Detroit-
get for $5?
That Detroit accent you got, you nailed it.
Oh, you know it.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On His Radio.
A hack for saving money shopping online, and you may or may not know this already. The thing that really got me is that they actually are basing some pricing off of where you live. Not necessarily this is our online price. So if they see that you live in this is a well-to-do area, they're gonna charge that dude $10, $15, $20 more.
That's awful.
I know. So literally, you could probably get something a little cheaper if you do something as simple in your web browser as turning either to incognito or private mode.
Depending on what your browser is.
Yeah,
it'll say
exactly. Like if you use Firefox or Safari. Safari is on the iOS or iPhones and MacBook. So it's called incognito for that.
Ooh.
So if you set it to incognito, boom, you could be getting cheaper prices. And then if you're like Chrome is incognito, Firefox and Safari is private browsing.
Okay.
I had it opposite. And if you use that antiquated thing called Microsoft Edge, it's in private.
In private.
Yeah, so if it's either incognito, private setting, or in private, if you see one of those three settings, set it on your web browser, and then you could be getting some cheaper online prices.
I am so doing that. I always say no to share your location. I always say no because I figured that was kind of happening, that if you're in the South, you're going to pay one thing. If you live maybe in one of the more, the bigger cities, top 10 cities, you're going to pay a lot more. Mm-hmm. That's what I based it on. But good to know. Good to know.
And
even
so
down to the neighborhood.
So other people aren't seeing where you're going to.
Yeah.
Which I like because you know how you say something and all of a sudden it's like Facebook is throwing ads up at you.
Right? I keep saying puppies, and that's all I'm getting. So puppies.
Puppies on your... Sounds like she wants something for Christmas. Joey? That's her husband. Puppy for Liz.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Here's Sage. She's 11 years old. Her aunt has cancer. She's losing her hair. She makes her a beanie. Mm-hmm. And now she's doing it for a lot of other people.
She is. I think she was inspired by her aunt. Not only her aunt, but her uncle also has stage 4 cancer. And so it's really hit home for her.
Yeah.
And so at 11 years old, she has seen this firsthand, and she knows that she's got a talent and she wants to give back. So what she's done is she's knit or crocheted hats. Her grandfather gave her some sort of machine to work with. Her grandma gave her all the yarn. And she said, I've got all this yarn. Let me do something good with it.
Takes her about an hour to make one. She's done 50 of them.
She's done 50.
All different colors because everybody's unique, she says.
And she doesn't want any of them to be the same. And I think that is so key for her, because when you receive something like that and you know that it's unique, it feels so much more personal. So not only is she doing good, but she's really investing in each individual person.
She makes them. She's the one making them. For every person, 50 of them, plus her aunt and uncle.
Yeah, but she says she's not done. She has been so inspired. She said, I want to do more and more every single year.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On His radio.
So for some people, they're saying they just discovered it today. Their whole life, they lived this wondering, what is the little red bulb that's in the packaging for your Christmas lights? You know the string of Christmas lights and the red bulb? You put it in, it makes them blink.
I did not know this. I thought it was just replacement bulbs if one goes out or gets broken.
But there's that different color one. Say you have a whole strand of
white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's that red one. You're like, mistake. No, you put it in, and it makes them blink.
You know what? I feel like my husband Joey is going to go home and put in all the red bulbs. He likes the blinking lights, and I don't. I just want him to be
the cat's out of the bag. He
steady
knows. He knows. He's one of the smartest men I know.
He probably does know,
He knows.
but maybe not have thought about it recently.
He's just today years old.
He is.
The things you learn. You should hear what Scott learned when he was a today's year old.
Okay, what?
Can't believe I'm just finding this out. You know, like a soda can, Coke can, for example, you pop the top, you push the tab back down. If you rotate that tab 180 degrees, the hole in the tab is meant to hold a straw, so you can drink the can with a straw.
You don't need that thing for the straw.
But it holds the straw.
Keeps it from wiggling
so
around.
It keeps it from wiggling around. That's what the hole in the tab is meant for on the can.
So I get that, but who uses a straw with a can?
A lot of people.
Yeah, I don't.
Really?
But that's what I found out. You can use it if you do use a straw.
I'm not making
that
fun.
hole is meant for.
I literally just have never seen anybody drink.
I've seen people use a straw in a can. Why wouldn't you?
I don't.
Why do you want to put that
But it
dirty
all
can on your
flails
mouth?
Around, it wiggles around, and that's what that hole is meant for, to kind of keep it from flying around all over the place.
See?
Okay, didn't
that
know
makes
that.
a lot of sense.
But going back to the dirty part of the can.
Dirty can. You buy from the store and you put your mouth on it?
Yeah, wash it off first, buddy.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
For real, they hand out licenses for this. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
Yeah, Madeline wanted to have one. She was trying to be proactive. She was like, okay, I haven't gotten this yet, but I want to make sure I have a license for when I do. And so she wrote to the Los Angeles County Animal Care, and she said, Dear LA County, I would like your approval if I can have a unicorn in my backyard, if I can find one. I need you to please send me a letter in response. And they did. And they gave her a license.
Very nice. How old is she?
She's like 9 years old.
9 years old.
9 years old.
Wants a unicorn, now has a license to own one. Nice.
But I love that they sent her. Okay, here's what they did. They not only sent her a letter and says yes, and even a certificate, like an actual license to own a unicorn when and if you find one. And they also sent her a stuffy that had a little tag on it that said unicorn license. So
Get
I
out.
love that they did this.
Like a dog tag?
Like a dog tag that's supposed to go when she finds the unicorn. She puts a collar on it so she can keep it in her backyard. And but I do like the fact that she really thought this through. She's like, okay, they may not allow me to keep one, but if I find one, I need to make sure that it can stay here.
She's covered.
She got her license. Sometimes she's doing better than I am on things.
Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
You know, it's nice to have a really nice delivery guy. And this kind of proves that there's decent people really in this world. I love what this young lady calls this gentleman. His name is Dave. He's simply known as Domino's Dave.
She gets to know him pretty well, huh?
Yeah. And the thing about Domino's Dave, and she says on her TikTok, she really doesn't get pizza that much, maybe every 4 months, but it's always the same guy that comes out. And every time he comes out, he does something special for her dog.
So I would sign for my pizza, and then he would give my dog a treat and scratch her belly. The last time he was here, she was wearing a little cone because she had just gotten some cancer removed from her belly. And he was so happy for her. He stayed for like 5 minutes just giving her so many pets. And today when he shows up with a dog treat, I have to tell him that she's not here. And I'm not ready to do that. I was not prepared for this part of losing my dog.
To tell Domino's Dave. Because he remembers the dog, and he always brought treats, and he was ready with a treat for her dog. So she winds up telling him, and then something happens. He sees there's a cat that's there.
He carries cat treats, too. I hope Domino's Dave has the best day ever every single day.
How sweet.
Look at that.
And how she recognizes that in Domino's Dave.
But it made such an impact in her life, honestly, right when she needed it, dealing with the loss of her pup, going through everything that they went through. And here's this unexpected, just little sort of hug, you know, from the pizza delivery guy.
Domino's Dave, who does the simplest thing, brings dog treats and cat treats, and makes a difference in lives.
Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
So Ken had an epic year at his company. He's the CEO of Citadel, and they made like over 36 billion bucks.
Yeah, they did.
Man, so he's like, I appreciate everybody that works for me. Everybody's going to Disney for 3 days.
Yes, and their families.
Everybody that works for him goes to Disney for 3 days. And like Liz said, their families.
Their whole families. And there are not just like 100 employees. There's not even just 1,000 employees. It's like 10,000. And they're from all over the world. So you might have somebody that's from Florida. You might have somebody that's from Zurich. You might have somebody from Brazil. And he flew them all there.
Costing him 10 grand.
I mean.
To do the whole thing. Yeah. And not only, he's not like putting them at a Motel 6 up the road from the Magic Kingdom.
No.
He's putting them at a resort. The whole thing.
Yeah, and paying for the food. And
wow, the whole meal plan. How nice is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little cray-cray. But how awesome that he sees without those employees and their families supporting, they wouldn't have had the record year that they've been able to have. So he's very appreciative.
Yeah, and what a gift.
Rob and Liz in the morning.
On his radio.
Okay, the younger generation, Gen Z, says, throw out the skinny jeans. Get rid of the skinny jeans. I like skinny jeans.
They don't fit me.
Well, so I don't know. Are they still in style for guys? I'm not really sure. But for women, they're saying Gen Z does not like them at all.
Get rid of them.
Here's some good news, though, because they say what they want us to wear is mom jeans. Mom jeans have a little more room in them.
Yeah.
Or the boyfriend cut jean, which is, I don't know why they give them these names, but the boyfriend also has a little extra room in them, so they're not quite as binding as the skinny jean.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. And then, listen, if you had a pair of Gloria Vanderbilt jeans back in the day.
They're coming back?
They're coming back.
I'm trying to remember those. I don't even remember those. I know her name.
In my head,
I thought it was Perfume.
She had that too.
Okay.
And she owns a house, or did, the family up in Nashville. But the Jordache jean and the Gloria Vanderbilt jean, if I remember correctly, were out at the same time and fairly similar. I want to say it was that really dark wash.
Okay.
And they fit a certain way. So, yeah.
Well, then there you go.
Those are the ones that are coming back.
Thank you for the jean knowledge.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you got a Gen Zer, they want us to throw out the skinny jeans.